Okay, let's circle the shoulders around and about. And notice any crunchies that you're feeling and notice that it feels pretty good. And then reverse the circle. Circle it the other way. And then make a fist with your hands and lift your shoulders up, crunch your face, lift your shoulders to your ears, maybe lift your feet up, pull everything in towards each other. Let it go. Now really feel what it's like to let go. Let's do that again. Shoulders up to ears. Just crunch, 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 crunch. Close your eyes, crunch your face, make all kinds of wrinkles in your face and let it go. Really feel what it's like to let it go. Now, let's take our shoulders to the base of our spine. We can't really see it, right? So lift them up again, palms facing forward, then your whole arm is externally rotating. Lift it up again. Now, compress it down. Compress the shoulders down, like you're pushing your fingers down. That doesn't feel good either, right? So we've got to find that spot that's in the middle. You can, when you go into, let's say, brush your teeth or brush your hair, you can look in the mirror and check out, are my shoulders about at the base of my neck? And if they're not, then make a little adjustment. And feel, maybe stand there at the counter and feel what it's like to have your shoulders right about at the base of the neck. And then maybe lift the shoulders up and see how that feels and look at it in the mirror. And then go down and look at it in the mirror. I guess if I was like Tori, I'd say, go to your bathroom, go look right now in the mirror. Right, Ed? We'd say, go do it. Oh, someone's doing it, go and do it. Just to see what it's like. If you want, I won't be offended if you run to the bathroom, just see what it's like to take your shoulders up to your ears and then compress them down. So somewhere in the middle is where the shoulder blades are on the back. And we've talked about if the rib cage is going forward like this, which is very common, then we need to pull the rib cage back. There's no way for the shoulders to go on the back when your rib cage is forward. Try it. It just can't happen. So we take the ribs back it feels like they're moving to your back of your shirt. When you do that, it feels like your belly's toning. Then we can bring the shoulder blades onto the back and we're about neutral here. So that's your homework this weekend, to go when you're brushing your teeth, make a little reminder, take the shoulders up, take them down, take them onto your back and notice what it feels like. Let's keep the shoulders at this level while we lift our arms up. Then bend your elbows, pull your hands in towards you, feel your shoulder blades on your back. Take your arms now a little bit forward like you're making a V. And you're reaching towards the corners of the room. Keep the arms long, but pull them back so that you feel like the shoulder blades are on the back. Do that again. Reach towards the two front corners of your room, your right corner and your left corner. You're making a V. Keep the arms extended, pull the arm bones back. That's it. Now take your arms wide. Reach wide. Open your fingers. Close your fingers. Open them up. Close them. Open them. Bring them forward. Turn the palms down. Turn the palms down. Now, circle the fingers out to the side and upwards and towards each other. Now notice how your shoulders feel. Probably doesn't feel like they're on the back. Turn it back upwards, fingers out to the side. Take the arms out to the side with your fingers out to the side. How does that feel? Does it feel like your fingers are, that your shoulder blades are on the back? Now turn your palms upwards. Woo! I always feel that in my hand. Do you feel it in your hands? Yeah, it's like you're pushing the walls away. Turn the palms upright. Release your arms down. Ah, that was a lot. That was a long time to hold it up. Lift the right arm. Bend your hand. Bend your hand. Bend your elbow. Touch yourself behind your shoulder blades. How does that feel? Give yourself a little tap behind your back. Inhale, lift the arm up. Exhale, bend again. Tap yourself behind the back. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Now, if your hand, your left hand can reach towards the right, then you can gently pull it in. If it doesn't, just let your head be on top of your head. Pull the ribs back and then feel like you're lifting tall through the crown of your head. Notice if your head is turning towards the right or the left, bring it to center. Bring the nose neutral to center. Open up your elbows now. We've got our elbows just a little bit lower than our shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Sometimes it's really helpful to close your eyes so you can feel this. Lift your right arm up towards the sky. Shoulder blade goes off the back. Pull the elbow back down to about right there where the elbow's a few inches lower than your shoulder. What does it feel like now? Probably on the back. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, pull it down like you're pulling a pulley down. And then inhale, lift it up. Shoulder blade off the back as we lift. Can't really help that. It's going to go off the back. Now, pull down, goes back on the back. Let's reach forward. What do you want to grab? Take your fingers, you're going to grab it. I like to imagine a net. There's a net in front of me. My fingers are going in between the little open spaces. Claw the net. Pull the elbows back. Now, if we go too far back, okay, so this is too far back. Notice all the tightness that's going in here. So go back to the net. Pull back, but don't go so far back that you feel a tension in your neck and shoulders. Do that again. Reach forward. You don't have to get up. I'm just doing this so you can see me. Pull back. If we go too far back, you will feel that tension. So part of the yoga is bringing this awareness to what brings tension into our body. Let's dip the fingers down and lift them up. Notice how when they're down, the shoulders are rounding forward. Shoulders are not on the back. We lift the fingers up. Shoulder blades are on the back. Let's tip towards our right with fingertips behind the head. Yeah, pull the belly in. Inhale, rise up. Feel your tailbone as it angles downward. And feel the crown of your head reaching up. Side bend towards your left. Yes. Inhale, rise up. Now, I don't want you to push your head, but you can keep your elbows slightly forward. You're relaxing your head back into your fingertips. You're giving your head a little support. Continue to give your head support, but round your spine, elbows towards knees, gaze into zipper. If you have a zipper or a navel, gaze to your belly. Then you're going to lift up and you're going to feel your heart rise and the tops of your ears are tilting back, but not so far back that your neck breaks. That's another place that's going to cause neck pain. And we're going to look at that, like Ed said, with the pillow. So I'm going to show it side view. Here's us curling forward, elbows towards navel, belly's pulling in, spine is rounding. Now we're going to lift up. The heart moves upwards. The tailbone moves back. The heart rises. The back of the neck is long. I'll show it once, and then I'm not showing it again because I don't like it. Don't do this. Don't crank the neck back. Not going to be good for you. Not going to be good for you. Let's take our hands behind the head now. You can stack your palms. Stack your palms, and then I want you to take the skin of your neck and lift it up towards your scalp. So your hands go right below the occiput where your skull kind of meets your spine. Give it a gentle traction upwards. That should feel good. And notice feeling the curve in your neck. So you're giving some nice traction there. From here, with your head relaxing into your palms and your neck, lift your heart skyward. So the neck is supported. We're lengthening. Elbows are moving upwards. You can let your tailbone move back. You're seated in the chair. The tailbone moves back. Then we're going to exhale. We're not pushing our head forward, but it's rounding forward of will, right? We're not pushing with our hands. We're rounding like cat and cow. Lean the head back into the palms. Palms are supporting the head. Give it traction. Lift upwards. Yes. Exhale, release. Let that go. Let's circle the arms. Let anything that was creeping in there go. Like you're what bird are you? I love peacocks. I do not like the wild turkeys who keep traipsing through my backyard. Just saying. Reverse it. Do it the other way. Circle it the other way. Yeah, these are big circles. Big, 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 big circles. Yeah, let them get bigger and bigger and bigger yet. And then reverse it. Good. And open up your arms and clap. Yep. Open it up. Clap it. Take your arms back like you're making a V without too far back, right? We already felt too far back is going to be crunchy. We don't need that. That adds stress into the body. Clap. Now go back, but don't go too far back. That's it. Clap. Open. Clap. Interlace. Let's go back to our Charlie's Angel Mudra. Cross the thumbs, pointer fingers forward. Let's find a twist. Twist towards the right. Notice how your arm bones are kind of stopping you, right? You can't go much further here. Head is in line with your spine and really the arms too. Let's bend the elbows in towards us. Make a prayer mudra. That's it. Now notice, can you get a little bit more movement there in the twist? Maybe. Inhale, come back to center. Find Charlie's Angel Mudras. Make a circle a half circle towards the left. Your body's going to stop you, right? The head's turning left. Don't crank that neck. Let's come into prayer mudra here. Maybe twist a little bit more. Keep filling your body with breath. Feel your ribs move back. Notice how the left rib might go faster than the left. I'm sorry, left going faster than right. So try to pull them both back, but you're going to notice the right one is a little bit more forward. It's not going to be in a twist. It's not going to be able to go evenly back with the right. Inhale, come to center. We're back to Charlie's Angel Mudra. Let's make a circle now. Open up your legs wide and towards the right, up, around to the left. Push down through your feet. Angle your fingertips down towards the earth. Inhale back up to the right. One more time. going down and around. Really feel the extension and the sides of your ribs. Let's reverse it. You can follow the movement of your arms with your gaze. Keep pressing down through your feet as you lift up. Press, press down. Fingertips are down. They lift up. This feels so good on the side of the body. Do it one more time. Are you feeling a nice stretch in the side of your body? This is so good for your breathing. Hands at the heart. Let's check out our breath here. Take a little breath break. Hands at the belly. Feel your feet pressed into the earth. Heels are under knees. I'm not even looking at them. You don't need to look at them. Just feel it. Push down through the big toe mound of the toes, center of the heels. Hands at belly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe take one hand to the chest and one to the belly. Notice which expands first. Breathe in. Breathe out. If it's not at your belly, if the expansion when you inhale is not at your belly, give it a little crunch in with your fingertips. Say, hey, this is where I want. Go ahead and give your belly a little. This is where I want my inhale, right here. Go ahead and give it a little tap. This is where the inhale is going to start. So inhale, breathe in. And breathe out. Sometimes a little tactile sensation is good. When you lie down, you can put something heavy like a pillow or a beanbag or something on your belly to say, hey, this is what I want going up and down. When you're lying down, it's up and down. When we're seated, it's forward and back. Okay, so our legs are wide. Don't look at your toes. Inhale, lift your right toes, push down through the heel. Exhale, lower the toes. Inhale, left toes rising. No peeking. Spread them. Release them down. One more time. Right. Exhale, lower. Left lifts and lower. Inhale, heels rise. Woo! Heels rise. Hi, kitty. Hi, Mary's kitty. I see you right in front in center. Exhale, lower your heels down. Now, we're going for that short foot. So we're going to start by, we have two pencils, one here and one there, and we want to pick them up. Crunch your toes like you're going to pick up those pencils. Then hold on to the side of your seat and maybe lift the right leg up and put it down and drop the pencil. And then the left side, try to pick it up and drop it and let it go. Don't get pencil marks all over the place. Now go ahead and crunch both. Crunch your big toes towards your arches. Your arches get really big when you do this. Crunch, crunch in, and release and let that go. Now, short foot. Short foot's where we pull our big toe mound towards our heels. Pull them in, the arches activate. Super duper duper important because we are strengthening the muscles in our feet, in our arches when we do that. Release, let that go. So it's like you're pulling the front of your foot towards the back of your foot, and you can feel those muscles in your arch activate and let it go. People think when they have flat foot, they can't do this, but you can. You can pull in, activate muscles, woo, and let it go. All right, let's bring the feet back in and do a hip opener. Bring that knee in. Cross the ankle over the thigh. If that's too much for you, use a block or two blocks and bring the outside of the foot onto the block like this. So either here or here. Then we lift tall, keep our shoulder blades on the back. Start to take we're going to hinge at our hip and start to take our torso forward. When you start to feel a stretch in the outer hip or inner thigh, stop. And then breathe here. And with your torso towards your thigh, you might feel your belly moving towards your thigh as you inhale and you exhale. About 3 to 5 breaths. Open up your hip. We can't ignore our hips just because we've been focusing a little bit more on the upper body. And then push down to your foot and rise up. And let's do the other side. So we come back to our mountain, lifting the left knee, give it a hug on in, place the foot on the block or foot on thigh or somewhere in between. We grow tall. You can place your hand on the thigh. And as you push down, you get more space, more space. We're making all kinds of space in here. But when we make this space, we want to make sure we're not making it here. So shoulders are not lifting the ears to make space. Space is in between this bony point, pelvic bowl area and bottom of ribs. Lean forward till you feel your stretch. Stop when you do. Flex your foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try to pull your ribs back. You might even feel more sensation as you do that. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Inhale, rise up. Place your foot down. We're going to go down to the earth. And we will continue to work on shoulders. Bring your block and your strap with you. Come on down in your blanket. Be safe. Take your time. Be safe and take your time. I like to put the chair against the wall. That way it's not going to move. It's not going anywhere. Then we take our hands to the chair and slowly lower one knee and then the other. I know several of you have your own way of getting down, but just want to emphasize how important it is for us to be safe. All right, we're going to do a little weight bearing. And then we're going to go on our back, and then we're going to go on our belly for our shoulders. And if you have a blanket, please bring it, because that can be super helpful for our shoulders. And we'll show that whole pillow thing too. Okay, so we're on our hands and knees, and let's make some circles. We just got down here. So hands are on your mat. And if your wrists are sore, highly recommend either rolling the mat like I've shown before, or hands on blocks can be extremely helpful. Maybe not as quite of a hard surface, and you can grab the side of the block with your fingers. That can help. So make sure you have an adaptation for your wrists. And if you don't, let's talk about it after class. And circle the other way. Forward to the side and back and around and then forward and back. Notice as you go back, weight is not in your hands, and as you go forward, it is. Forward and back a few times. And let's go to cat. So for cat pose, claw your mat with your fingertips. Shoulders are forward, but you should be able to see your palms and your fingers. If you're like this, you might see your hands, but it's too far forward. The hips need to be over the knees. Nice long table. Exhale, round your spine. We find cat pose. Release your head. Gaze at your navel. It's your belly. Then inhale, drop the belly, lift the sitting bones, lift the heart. Keep the back of the neck long. So think about your neck lifting back. but not that. That's a crank back and a kinked neck. We don't want that. That's where the top of the ears is way too far back. So heart's lifting, tops of the ears are moving slightly back. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. Let's exhale and round the other way to cat pose. And then reverse it. Sitting bones rise, heart rises. Back of the neck is long. Let's lean back and get off of the wrists. And find your way to a position where you can circle your wrists around, make a fist with your hands so you can release any tension that's creeping in there. Release any tension that's creeping in there. Then open up your right hand, use your left hand and pull the thumb with your left hand, give it some traction, and then take it back. Give it a little bit more traction as you pull it back. And then shake that out and do the other side. Spread your fingers, clasp your thumb, give it some traction. So traction means you're trying to pull it away and then pull it back. Woo, little stretch there, little stretch. And let that go. Let's go on to our back. We're going to do bridge. And for bridge, you can have a little blanket under your head. I know a lot of people like it, but not much, because what happens is it's going to flatten your neck. And I'm going to show you what I mean. And this is not what I want you to do. I'm going to show you not what to do first. So I'm going to make this a bigger pillow. This is not going to feel good, by the way. All right. So here we are. We lie on our back for bridge. And my head, I'm exaggerating, is like this. Now, first of all, we don't want this because when we lift up, everything is going into the head and the neck. That is a big no-no. So this is flattening the neck and it's putting too much pressure on the head. So I would say if you can, go with no blanket. But what we don't want, look at this. And this goes for sleeping or bridge pose. If your head is doing this, we don't want that either. So this is like a crunch neck, like when I was saying in cat pose, we don't want a crunch neck. We want a long back of the neck. So if you can extend your head back and get this curve, stay right there. If your head is doing this, you probably do need a blanket under the top third of your head, something like this. And this is where you're going to have to adjust where you're at, of how high this is, but it shouldn't be too high. So with this just under the top third of the head, it gives space for the neck. And now we're going to lift on up into bridge. So with or without a blanket, if you can go without it, go without it. Hands are by our side. And then we can kind of karate chop the earth. We can get long by walking one shoulder and then the other shoulder towards our ears. Now, go ahead and push the back of your ribs down into the mat. Push your feet down. Lift your heart. So you barely lift your, you haven't lifted your belly or your spine up yet. Your heart is lifting, but not your lower spine. Then go ahead, push down through your feet, hip rises. When your hips rise, you do not want any pressure behind your neck. There should be space there between the back of your neck and the mat. The back of the head, maybe gently pressing down. The face should be level with the earth. So your forehead and your chin are parallel with the earth. And then we're going to exhale and lower down. I know it's a long explanation, but it's going to help your neck and protect your neck. We're going to go up again. So we make sure our ribs are not jutting up, pull them down. And then as we lift up, they stay toned, even though we're lifting up. You can walk your arms underneath you a little bit, your shoulders underneath you, and feel a little bit more lift through the heart. And then breathe in, and notice how when you breathe here, you're finding that you have more space to inhale because the front of your body is open. And then let's exhale, lower the hips down, come on down. Notice how that feels. Let's go up and down a few more times. I want you to really play with your breath when you get up there. So we'll inhale, we'll lift up. You can exhale as you're adjusting. Maybe walking the arms underneath you, pushing the feet down. Notice how your hips tone when you push your feet down. Pull your feet towards you. You might feel your hamstrings tone. Check it out. Notice. Close your eyes. Feel the back of your neck. Shouldn't be touching down on the mat. Feel the little bony point behind your head. That's going to be touching down on the blanket or on the mat. Take a breath in. Feel the heart expand. Feel all that room for your big breath. And exhale and let it go out through the nose. It's not a struggling breath. It's a nice breath. Let's bring the right knee in towards us. Give it a hug. Give it a big hug. And drag the left heel forward. Straighten that leg as you pull the right knee in towards you. Then drag the left knee or foot back towards you and extend them once again. And pull them in and maybe lift the footprint towards the sky and circle it forward. Now, if your back hurts, pull the knee back in. We don't want back pain. Lift up, circle around, keep the ribs down, your belly's toning, pull the knee back in. If you feel pain, you can't extend your legs so far forward. We do not want that. So leg goes up. It goes forward and away from us. If you feel the lower back creeping up in that curve, push the ribs down and pull the knee back in towards you. Around and about. And let's bring both knees in, massage your spine. Roll right and left and right. Right and left and right. Come back to center. Let's do the other side. Pull the left knee in, extend the right leg away from you. Feel a nice stretch here as you pull the kneecap towards you on the left side, push the right heel away. Then pull the knee in, the right knee in, extend the footprint up and around and about. Same thing goes. If you lower the leg too low and you start to feel pain in your spine, don't lower the leg so much. Keep it upright, make it a little bit smaller circle. Press the leg up to the sky, push it away, pull it in. Up, around, and about. Pushing and pulling in and lifting and just making circles. Nice movements for the legs. And then pull both knees in and roll to your side and come on up and notice how your body feels now. Notice how your body feels now. Let's go back onto our hands and knees, but take your time. You've been down for a while, so give it a moment. Give it a moment. You've been on your back. Come back onto hands and knees. And if you have two blocks, take them. This block was chewed by my other dog, Tigger. And I keep that block because I love it. It reminds me of Tigger. Hands on the block. If you have it. If you don't, you're going to put your hands directly on the mat. We're going to do some push-ups, but we're going to keep our shoulder blades on our back. Knees walk back. Knees walk back. Hands on blocks. We are not going all the way down to the floor. And you can take your blocks wide, by the way. They don't have to be in like this. Take them wide. may be helpful. You might want to experiment with how wide they go. So here we go. We don't want our ribs dropping forward, so pull them back. That's right. And then shoulder blades on your back. Now, keeping that, lower about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 inches or so. Feel the pressure in your hands as you push into the block or the earth, and then press down, rise up. Let's do a few of these. And so we're pulling ribs back. We're lifting down. Our shoulders and our head are moving forward, not back like that. We're trying to get some weight bearing. But by the way, it's not about how far we go. Then you might go a little bit further. You might go a little bit further down. Shoulder blades on the back, press down, rise up. Pull back. Pull back, hips back. Gives it a little break off your hands. I'm going to show it without the blocks, just in case you don't have the 2 blocks. I want you to see it's certainly possible, right? You guys have done push-ups before. Spread your fingers. Keep your weight forward, belly's toned. Lower down just a little bit. Tone the belly. Keep asking yourself, am I toning my belly? Press down, rise up. Exhale, release down. Feel shoulder blades on back. Notice how the elbows are by the side. Push down, rise up. Let's pull the hips back. Take a little break there, a little stretch of the spine. And come forward one more time. Your tops of your feet can be down or your toes can be curled under. There may be a few of you out there who want to come up off your knees. That's okay. You guys are just showing off. All right, so belly's in, toned. We move forward. Elbows are by the side. Shoulder blades are on the back. Press down, rise up. Let's go down onto our belly now. Now, if you have all kinds of pain, this may be a tough move for you to be on your belly when things are going on in your shoulders and your neck. You may not, you might want to skip this or do this, do some more cat-cows. So for some of you, this is a tough place to be on your belly. And if it is, give yourself a break. We certainly don't want pain. No pain is allowed. If it doesn't feel right, ask yourself, is this not right? I shouldn't go on my belly, and don't do it. Let's practice a little breathing in this pose because this is a great place to get feedback. Your head can turn to the right or the left, or your forehead can be down, resting on your forearms or the backs of your hands. Breathe in, and you'll feel the belly push into the mat. Breathe out. You'll feel the belly soften. Breathe in. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. So always good to test out your breath in different positions. Take your hands by the side of your heart for cobra. And let's push our fingertips down like spider hands. I notice how I'm off the mat here. Elbows are up. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Lift your shoulders towards your ears and then gently pull them back. If you pull them back too much, it's going to be, oh, doesn't feel good. So shoulders up and back. It should feel good. It should feel like they're supposed to be in that spot. You feel your blades moving in towards each other. You do not have to come up high. Your legs are straight back from your sitting bones. Lift the heart. Pull the shoulders back. Don't drop the head back though, because that's that kinked neck. Look forward. Push down through the fingertips. Feel the shoulder blades move in. Tone your hips. Exhale, release down, not all the way down. We're going to do this again. Shoulders up and back. Push down through the fingertips. Heart lifts. Feel your blades on your back. exhale, release. I want to show you a little something that you could do with the blanket for Cobra. You could roll the blanket. I've got it folded like this, but you could experiment with this and put the rolled blanket. So if you know you have any back pain, you're going to have to experiment with how much of a roll it should be. If it's more of an intense roll like this, this may be too much. So this is one of those things where you have to experiment with how small the roll would be. But you can put this roll underneath your rib cage and right below your sternum and your breastbone. And that's support for you to be in a back bend. And this is what Sphinx pose looks like. And so this is kind of high up, but if it's too much, we just reduce this roll a little bit, like that maybe. And it's support there for you. And we can do Cobra from here too, but it helps lift the heart a little bit. You want to make sure you're toning your belly and your ribs are still moving up and back. Back of the neck is long. You can be on your fingertips or you can place your palms down, shoulders up and back. We're lifting into a Cobra, but we've got a little bit of support from the blanket. And then we lower down and we come back up. We've got a little bit of support from the blanket. We might gaze over one shoulder, come back to center and look over the other one. Come back to center. One more time, feel your Cobra. And then push down through your fingers, your hands, lift up, remove that blanket, and find a child pose. So toes are together, knees can be a little wider than your hips, or maybe a little closer. It's going to depend on the opening in your hips, the opening in your thigh, and then either elbows bent or arms long. And I'm going to give you one other option. You could have the blocks under your palms, and this is also a really nice shoulder opener. It looks like this, but it's all going to depend upon your shoulders and where you're at. So hands could be on these blocks as your hips move back. And then you'll feel a little bit more opening in your shoulders here. We breathe in. And we breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. You might let your hips sway side to side. So do you have to use these blocks? Absolutely not. Just an option. It's a little bit more of a shoulder opener. We're going to go back onto our bellies. You can use your blanket or not. Use your blanket or not. And I'm going to give you a few more options. On Wednesday, we used the block. We put it behind our back like this, and we pushed into the block. You don't have to. It's an option when we are on our belly for what's called locust pose. Or you can use your strap and hold it back behind you like this as we are on our belly, or you use absolutely no prop. And so here's what locust is going to look like with a little roll. You don't have to use the roll. I'm just giving you a few options today to explore things in a little bit different way, because that's what adaptive yoga is about. So with our heart slightly lifted with this roll or not, shoulders are up and back, legs are back behind our hips, we can take our arms back like so, palms touch, facing towards each other, or palms pushing into block. Woo, that is tough stuff. Palms pushing into block. I guarantee you're going to feel things you don't normally feel if you haven't done this one before. Or make sure you take a break when you need it. Or we use this lovely strap, which, by the way, you could have a loop in the strap and put your hands in it or your arms in it instead. Looks like this. And then you can push your forearms out into the strap instead of holding onto the strap. I got to go back. I got to go down before doing it. It's just not going to work without that. But here, my arms are in the strap. I'm pushing out into the strap. Shoulders are up and back. This is super nice. This is a great way to bring the shoulders on the back. Super nice, gotta say. So either hands pushing in the block, hands holding strap, pulling it taut, or arms in the loop of the strap, shoulder blades on the back. Blanket is either under you or not under you. Right about here. Right about here. So it looks like that. That just helps you get a little bit of a lift. You're feeling lower back pain, the curve is too much, you need to reduce it. Reduce the curve. How do we reduce the curve? Get rid of the blanket. Some people like that blanket. I've shown it before. They like it under their rib cage and belly. It's more like this, more like that. So I'm telling you that other feels better for me. Let's do a thigh stretch. We'll go back to our Sphinx. So either the belly thigh stretch, or you're going to turn on to your side and you're going to bring your foot forward like so. Take your hand to the pant leg, your ankle or your foot, and then pull the leg back till you get a stretch. So you're either on your side, resting your ear on your arm, or you're on your belly in Sphinx, or resting your head on your forearm, grabbing your foot. Some people put a strap around their ankle and their foot and pull it in. You're pulling your foot towards your hip. At the same time, your foot is pointed, the toes are moving back and spread. If you get a cramp, release it, let it go, let it go, let it go. Maybe swish your legs back and forth. Maybe you have to let this go and do a hamstring stretch first. Sometimes we have to switch the sequencing of what we do if you get a cramp. We're going to do the other side. So either on your belly or your side, resting your head down on your either forearm if you're on your belly, or on your upper arm if you're on your side. Pulling the knee towards us, grabbing the pant leg or ankle or foot, kick the leg back, keep the knee level with your hip, push foot into hand, hand into foot, kick back. Feel a lengthening in the front of the thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. Inhale, exhale. Notice if the ribs are dumping forward, pull them back, either on your belly or your side. It will intensify the stretch. You might have to let it go a bit. You might have to not pull that leg in quite as much. When we're in alignment, sometimes we feel things a little bit more, but that's a good thing. Even if we have to reduce the intensity or the range of motion, it's actually better because we're in alignment. And let that go. Come onto your back. We must do a spinal twist before we close. We've done a little twisting, but not a lot, and it's so important. A lot of people this time of year are doing a spring cleanse. Twists are so important. So let's pull our knees in towards us. Give ourselves a big hug. Let the knees drop to the right. Now, if you notice that you get little twings or something in your spine, before you drop your knees to the right, take your hips to the left, pull your knees in, then drop your knees to the right. Arms can be big, wide, and open, or you can bend the elbows, feel your shoulder blades. Feel the shoulder blades on the back, and you can really, with this, when the knees are going to the right, that left shoulder may be lifting a bit. So you can take your inner gaze to your left shoulder blade and try to anchor it down towards the earth. Now, some people like to take the left hand, lift it up towards the right, touch the palm, and then open it up. And you could even repeat that a few times. If you'd like to keep flowing a little bit, even as we end, certainly could do that. Flow palm towards palm, open it up. But I encourage you to at least stay about 30 seconds in a nice twist on one side and then the other. Head may or may not turn the opposite direction, but you might just turn it a little bit and feel the stretch in the neck. Try to turn with your neck muscles rather than whipping your head right to left. The longer you stay, the more you might feel that left shoulder blade come onto the back and an opening through the front of the body. Let's curl into fetal and do the other side. So now we're going to take the knees in and drop them to the left. Arms are in our cactus or our T. Try to line up your head spine with your tailbone. That's a nice way to think about it. And you might have to shimmy your shoulder, your left shoulder to the left a little bit to get your right shoulder to the right. And then feel with your inner gaze that right shoulder blade moving down towards the earth. You might take your right hand and towards the left palm and then open it up. And you can have your gaze follow this. So head follows the fingers as they open and close on the right side. And then rest in your twist. Rest in your twist. About 30 seconds. You can always stay longer because this is your practice. Turn the head with your neck muscles towards the right. So neck is leading head. Notice any stretch you might feel in your neck when you do this. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Stay as long as you want in your twists. Even it up. And then you'll come back to center. And you'll relax. Now, a nice way to relax, I know I've shown this before, but is to fold the blanket so that you can lie on it, but it has a little bit of elevation for your spine. This is a nice way to do it long like this. And then you can make a little pillow. So your lower spine is going to be here like this. You can fold the blanket over and rest your head on this. And you'll have to make your adjustments. And what's nice about this is your head is supported. Now, if it's, not enough, you can lift it. But remember, we're trying to keep that curvature in the neck. We're not flattening like that. I don't know if you can see how flat that is. We don't want that. We want that little curve. And then your arms can be down by your side. You're going to feel your body draping over this blanket. It's not an intense curve, but it's helping to open up the front of your body. And this is a good place you can put something heavy on your belly or your hands. And then your feet, you can have your feet apart and your knees together, or you can lengthen your legs. That's also an option. Or you could be in lying down butterfly, but we want to make sure our knees are supported in that. So I would say either constructive rest with knees together or legs long. And use this time to focus on your belly breathing. With this real open heart, with your spine relaxing on the blanket, you're giving your body some real nice space to take these full, complete breaths. Belly expanding, ribs expanding, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out. So in your resting pose, following your breath with your inner gaze. Feel the belly, feel the middle rib cage, feel the heart. You might feel the heart lifting just a little bit, more than you would normally because of that little roll behind you. And imagine that the musculature, the fascia on your shoulders and your skin is all relaxing. Some people like to think of waves, like smooth waves in the water, or clouds moving across the sky. What helps you relax? If you could think of a place or some type of movement, it just helps your body say, ah, and release. With each exhale, there's an unwinding, a releasing, an unraveling of any tension in your upper body, your neck, your shoulders, around your collarbone, between your shoulder blades, and your jaw. Soft, flowing breath, releasing any control as you breathe in and you breathe out. Releasing and letting go. Imagine the skin just draping over your bones. Feel the air surrounding you. Soft breathing in and soft breathing out. So stay as long as you want in this resting pose. I highly recommend doing something like this. Not a real big curve. Start with a nice flatter curve with the blanket or towel. Let the front of the body open. We'll close our class with the palms together in front of the heart. With much gratitude for our time together. This ancient lineage, this thousands of years old practice that has been adapted for modern times and helps us to feel more whole.